You have found your way down to the Matcave, and I'd like to say better late than never because we are opening finally the December 2023 mystery box from Video Games Monthly. And we're going to bust into this here and find out what games we got this month. Very late in the month here. Usually we get this towards the beginning of the month, but we're going to find out what we got going on in here. Last time, we had a box that had Sega games in there. We set the theme to be Sega-based games, whether it was from the Genesis or Master System, Dreamcast, or even the Game Gear. And it was some pretty cool stuff in there. What we're going to do now is find out what we got where I set the list. I reset it so that it includes all of the consoles that I have. So there could be literally anything in here, really. So we're gonna find out here. My apologies for getting this stream started in a weird way, and we're doing this live, so we'll give some people a chance to hop into the chat if they can find the link to it. I know there was a bunch of pop-ups that happened. I was having a hard time just going live. Something really weird was going on here, but it looks like I cleared it and everything seems to be all right at this point. I didn't get a chance to set up the second camera because of this, so we're gonna do everything right here in full frame, and we're gonna dive into this box and find out what we got going on for December of 2023. All right, here we go, guys. Let me bust out my Leatherman here, and we're gonna get into this box. We're gonna find out what we've got here. Darth Maximus, good to see you. He says everything's good. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Oh, and you know what? I was hoping you guys would pop in here. Guys, Echo Based Network is in the house. And yeah, let me show you this, guys. We got something really cool here. I just got this in the mail 2 days ago. I ordered 2 shirts from the Echo Based Network's brand new merch shop. I wore the other shirt already. It was of the Hoth battle, my favorite battle in the entire Star Wars saga. Really nice blue color. It had the walker on it, very retro style. Absolutely love it. And then the other one right here, my other favorite, Super Empire Strikes Back. Guys, this shirt is awesome. It's mad comfortable too. I really like the change. I like the increase in quality to it. It's very soft, very comfortable. So it's awesome, guys. If you're checking this out, go check out Echo Based Network's merch shop and see the new designs that they have in there. They are really awesome. And speaking of merch shops, the Matcave Gaming merch shop is open. I've got tons of items in there now. The link is always in the description. It's also on the About page of the channel. Go check it out. You can get yourselves some nice pint glasses, some mugs, some shirts, some hoodies, all kinds of stuff in there. So definitely check it out. Blonde Boy is here, says if there's any games you don't want, I can take them off your hands, you know. That's good to know. That's definitely good to know. The idea behind this, let me put my Leatherman away here. The idea is that we don't get duplicates, but it can happen from time to time. So it certainly could happen, but I do have an entire list filled out of the games I already have for each system. So that's in the effort to avoid getting the duplicates. Ooh, this one was really packed in there this time. Okay, there we go. Wrapper, get rid of that. Okay, here we go, guys. All right, now my apologies. We normally do this with 2 cameras, but we got the 1 camera, so I'm just going to bring things up to the screen this time around. Some technical difficulties hitting me lately. It's crazy, guys. I don't know what's going on with that, but hey, you know, I'm going to keep fighting through and try to do the best I can with all of this. Yeah, the AT-AT shirt too. Yes, that's the one. I love it. I went with like the lighter blue, and it's got everything in the circle with the retro style AT-AT in there and everything. It's so cool, and you got Luke on the Tauntaun and everything on there too. Lots of fun. All right, guys, we're gonna open this up. Even though I don't have the second camera here, I'm still gonna turn this box backwards, so that it's still a surprise. All right, you know, normally we have the angled camera and we can see everything together as we pop it out of the box, but I'm gonna keep this backwards, so I'm gonna open this up not facing me. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put it right over here. Okay, guys, there we go. Prop it up like that. Yeah, this way it's straight ahead. There you go. You see the inner lid right there. I'm gonna put it right there. All right, guys, let's do this. December 2023 Video Games Monthly Mystery Box. If you haven't checked out their site yet, go check it out. videogamesmonthly.com. Multiple plans, plenty of different sizes to the plans that can suit anyone's needs if you love collecting retro games. Here we go, guys. Let's find out what we got. All right. Well, I found bubble wrap. Any cards on top here? Let's take there's the bubble wrap. Let's get rid of that. All right, I feel paper wait, this is bigger than normal. What do we got here? This could be, I think what I have in my hand right now, maybe like the little bonus item. Let's see what we got. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, oh, wait a minute. It's, okay, it is the card, except this thing is jumbo size now. Look at this. Let's see if there's anything different on here. Normally you get a card talking about your subscription and how the plan works. So let's see what we got here. It says, we hope you enjoy your latest box. Please update your library on the website, adding these games and any other games. Okay, so it's the same information. It used to be a double size smaller card, and you'd flip it over and have the information that's on the bottom here on the flip side. So they went with just a single card now, just a bigger size. So that's interesting. Very cool. Fuller's Figures, good to see you, dude. Good to see you, Connor. All right, let's see. Now I also feel something else paper style. This is much larger. Ooh, this could be stickers. This could be stickers, guys. Oh, and then my kids are going to be thrilled. All right, let's see what we got. 3, 2, 1. Guys, it's a Christmas-themed soup. It's Luigi, and it's Christmas themed, where you put together the stickers to make a design however you want to set it up. The multiple faces there, presents, you got the Christmas tree. This is going to my daughter. She's going to lose her mind. I can't wait to show her this when she gets home from school today. That's awesome. It is the holiday season, guys. It is December, and this makes perfect sense to get a gift like this. I love getting the little things like this. We've had some cool things that have arrived in these boxes in the past. One of my favorites were the slap bracelets that showed up. They were Super Mario Brothers themed as well. It's so awesome. I love the stickers. That's so cool. All right, we got some more bubble wrap in here. Okay, we got some open cartridges. All right, I got one. Ooh, let's see. This feels like a Sega Genesis game, guys. Yeah, it's not thick enough to be an N64. This feels like a Genesis. All right, guys, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got Aladdin. Yo! That's actually really awesome because I recently put this back onto my list because my cartridge broke. What amazing timing, guys, to get Aladdin on the Sega Genesis back into my collection. Wow. They must have mind readers over there, because this was literally just a couple of months ago that my cartridge it was completely shot. I cleaned it like 1,000 times. It just would not work. And I'll tell you, this one is already cleaned. I mean, this camera doesn't focus in as much as the other camera does, but oh, wow. This is fantastic. Aladdin on the Sega Genesis, one of my favorite games of all time, and now it is back in my collection. Absolutely love that. Connor says he means Mega Drive. You know, it's so funny that the consoles have different names depending on the region. Outside of North America, the Sega Genesis is known as the Sega Mega Drive. So yeah, and you know, you can use they've had I've had games that literally say Mega Drive on them, and they work perfectly fine in my Genesis. So I don't think there's any differences as far as how the system reads it. But from what I understand, and I've seen some videos on this here, I've never had a console from outside of my own region. But from what I understand, some of the consoles ran at 50 hertz instead of 60 hertz, which made a difference when it came to timing. Sometimes some games, when you played the Master System, the Mega Drive versus the Genesis, for example, things like the music and the tempo, things would be different speed. It would almost sound slowed down. I saw a comparison of one of the Sonic the Hedgehog games, the North American region versus European, and it was a very strange difference. You know, the video I could see some difference, but it seemed like the audio had the biggest impact. It was very cool. What's up, Ted? Yeah, we got a sneaky stream going on in here. Just trying something out during the day. I had some trouble getting the stream going, but it was a little weird. All right, guys, this feels like another. You know, I think we got another box full of Sega stuff. That is, that makes perfect sense too. With the recent announcement at the Video Game Awards, how cool is this? I think we have a box potentially full of Sega cartridges here. Because right now, what I have in my hand feels like a Master System cartridge. The Sega Master System was their 8-bit system, and I love that one. And that's one I want to build up my collection for. But man, with that recent announcement, I've been in a big Sega mood lately ever since that announcement at the VGAs. And this is pretty cool. So let's see what we got. This feels like a Master System cartridge. 3, 2, 1. What do we got here? Zillion 2 Triformation. I do not know this game. I always love the designs, though, of these cartridges here. In great condition, too. Man, I wish this camera was a little brighter and a little more focused. But the cartridge is in great condition. The Sega Master System had my favorite version of the 8-bits Ghostbusters games from back in like the NES generation. We just played that recently on the channel. One of my favorite versions of that game. It also has a Rocky game, which was a really difficult game, but I always loved it. That's one I'm hoping to get back into the collection at some point. I had it years ago, and I don't have it any longer. But the Sega Master System was definitely a very cool system. Underrated because it was out at the time of the NES, and the NES was just dominating the gaming market. So it was really hard to compete with that thing. So the Master System kind of came and went. It had its own share of games, and they were really good games, but I feel like it was very much in the shadow of the Nintendo. So pretty crazy. It looks like a math game. Yeah, the thing about the Master System games, they all have this sticker. It's this design on pretty much every Master System game. Outside of the Master System also had a card slot. So there were some games that were actually on cards, cards about this big or so, and would go into the card slot. And some of the games had the Zapper games. They had the Master System had its own like light gun, and a lot of those were on the cards. So a lot of mini games and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely an underrated system. Yeah, Metalorian, I've never heard of this game either. Zillion 2, so it's a sequel, but I've never heard of Zillion before, so I'm very curious what that's going to be. Fuller said, oh yeah, Ghostbusters on the Master System, that's a blast from the past. It's my favorite version of that game. It's that style where you're just moving the Ghostbusters logo around the map, and then you go and catch the ghosts. All right, so we got 2 games in. I didn't see a card or anything for like any bonus games, so I think we just got the 4 games. We are set up for the subscription to have 4 games every month, and this is definitely a Sega box, guys, because this is another Genesis cartridge I have in my hand right now. So this is very cool. We are on the Sega theme. I am excited for it. Let's see what game we got next. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Yes. Yes. So much yes. The original Mortal Kombat. I have not had this cartridge in my collection since I was a kid. I lost it so many years ago. I have Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega 32X, and I have Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Genesis. But I have been without the original for, a couple of decades now. And it is back. Guys, it is back. Mortal Kombat is back in the Matcave Gaming Collection. Yo, this is a killer box right now. Oh my god. And it's definitely, this is totally cleaned. The cartridge, a little scuffed on the back here. It looks like it probably had a sticker on the back at some point. This could have been a rental cartridge at some point. The sticker has a little bit of bubbling on it, but not bad. Back in the day, guys, I probably wore this cartridge out back in the day, and now it is back, guys. Mortal Kombat, the original, is back in my collection. I am thrilled. I am thrilled. Guys, let me know in chat, what is your favorite Mortal Kombat? It could be any of them. I know there's tons of Mortal Kombat games, but I'm just curious, what is everyone's favorite Mortal Kombat game? I'll tell you mine. Mine is Mortal Kombat 2 on the 32X. And the reason the 32X is because it is the closest console version that you can get to the arcade. And I love I mean, obviously the arcade games are the best. That's where they started. That's where they're designed for. But the best port, in my opinion, was the Sega 32X port of Mortal Kombat 2. Oh, man, this is awesome, guys. I am psyched. I can't believe we just got Mortal Kombat. That is awesome. All right, we got a little more bubble wrap. Get rid of that. I think we're down to one game, guys. I think we have one left. Let me just feel around here. We got one left. Ooh, okay. Oh. Guys. It's definitely a Genesis game, but it's one of the taller cartridges, guys. So this could be... All right, here's the thing. Does it have the memory thing on it? It does. It does. Okay. I'm not pulling it out yet. For those of you who had the Genesis or the Mega Drive, there were a bunch of games, very much so the sports games in particular, that were a taller cartridge. And on that cartridge was an additional add-on. Usually it was like a yellow or a gray tab that was up at the top side of it. That was additional memory for the cartridge to handle these larger games. And most of the time it was the sports games like the NHL games or Madden. And it would hold this extra memory so you can save things like your season and your playoffs and all kinds of stuff and your roster adjustments. These games were pretty advanced at the time on the 16-bit era. There were also some third-party games that used that structure as well and incorporated that additional memory card that was built into the cartridge. So this last game in this box, and I felt around the box, this is the last thing in here. We've got, I'd say, like a 95% chance this is a sports title on the Genesis. What could it be, though? What are we thinking? We're diving into a sports game right now. I love the NHL games. I've got a few of them already, but they are on my list, so we shouldn't get the duplicates. What I am missing are quite a few of the Madden titles. So if this is a Madden game, oh, that could be huge. That could be huge. If this could be the one that gets me back into those classic Madden games, that could be some fun, guys. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what some of the third-party titles were that utilized this taller cartridge. I know there were some. There were definitely some titles that used this cartridge that were not sports games. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Blonde Boy says, I've only played the newest one. I lost through a temper tantrum, and now I hate the new Mortal Kombat? That's crazy. Mandalorian says, I think Killer Instinct was a fighting game I played the most. Oh, but that wasn't on one of these tall cartridges, right? That was one of the fighting games in the 16-bit era. Man. Guys, I'm thinking this is either an NHL game or a Madden game. It could be NBA, but not all of them use the tall cartridges. All right, let's do this. We've waited long enough. The final game of this mystery box, December 2023, Video Games Monthly. Here's the reveal. 3, 2, 1. It's not a it's one of the third-party games, guys. Desert Strike. This is okay, guys. This game is killer. You fly around a helicopter and stuff. This is an EA game, and that was the thing. Electronic Arts used this style, and here's that tab right here, this yellow tab. That's the additional memory that you would get on there, so you could have larger games. And Desert Strike definitely utilized that feature. Man, Desert Strike, I used to rent this game. I never owned it. It was one of those games that I remember the cover art. Oh my God. I would see it on the shelf and be like, oh, I want to rent. And I would rent it like multiple times as a kid. And me and my brother, we would play it. And then we'd always return it. But I never bought this game. You know what? I'm thinking about it now. Another game that utilized the tall cartridge was Road Rash. The games where you're battling on motorcycles, and then you could have like, you guy would have like a chain in one hand, and you hit the other riders. I'm pretty sure that was on one of these tall cartridges. But that was the thing. These had this additional piece here. This is additional memory for the cartridge to handle more capabilities that the game may have had. It's in great condition, you know, a little faded on the back, nothing too terrible. The sticker, it's a little bit dirty, but not bad. It's in good condition. No tears, no peeling. This is a fun game. Desert Strike was a ton of fun. You know, and it wasn't arcade style like a lot of those games were, where you'd fly a helicopter or use a tank and things like that. It was very strategic. You had to really like plan out your go at this. The game was a lot of fun. All right, I'm gonna turn the box around and make sure there's nothing else in it. This thing is empty. We got some good stuff, guys. We got some good stuff. We are on the 4-game plan for Video Games Monthly. And we got some pretty cool... Well, we've definitely got 3 awesome titles. The questionable one is going to be Zillion 2 Triformation. Never heard of this game. I am so curious what this is going to be like. We then got Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. One of the best Disney-based games ever, in my opinion. This one set the bar for animation-style games, in my opinion. Then we've got the iconic Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis. This game changed a lot of our lives. This was a game changer, literally. And then finally, we've got Desert Strike for the Sega Genesis on that taller cartridge style. I can't wait to play this game again. That was in my rental bundles so often as a kid. It was great. Absolutely had a great time with that. Fuller says, wait, was that on Sega? I had that on Super Nintendo. Yeah, Desert Strike, I'm pretty sure was on both. There were a lot of games. Oh, excuse me. There were a lot of games that were on both systems. You can get them on the Super Nintendo versus the Sega Genesis. Mortal Kombat was one of them. And the cool thing with that was that you would find differences between the consoles. Mortal Kombat was a big one with that, because when you played it on Super Nintendo, there was no blood. And then you had to put in, there was a blood code on the Genesis version. I forget it off the top of my head, but I'm sure it'll come to me. And then the Super Nintendo one, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat 1, I think, had no blood whatsoever. But when we did Mortal Kombat 2, you could activate the blood, but also change the color of it if you wanted. That was a big thing with Nintendo as well. Like, for example, Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64, you could change the color of the blood. Nintendo was always marketed as a family-friendly system, but, you know, when there were older generation, older aged players that things were marketed to, Nintendo did work around some ways to try to make that work with their style, right? So I appreciate what they did with that, but because of that, I have to say, growing up, I always preferred the Genesis, because it felt edgier. It had that grit. It was like, it was exactly how they marketed. It was like, the Sega does what Nintendo don't. Like, it was just, it was such a crazy time during that console war. And you would even with the sound effects and the music in the Genesis, it had this grittier tone to it. But that said, the Super Nintendo had some amazing soundtracks in it. Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario World, just to name a couple. And it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Whew, man, this is awesome. Fuller says, I want to come around to Matt's Order Pizza and play these games all night. Dude, it would be so great, man. The couch co-op is something I miss so much. It is just one of those games, one of those things that just I wish it would come back. M Game goes on. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Says, how are you? You know me, but I am first time on your stream. Oh, cool. Well, welcome. I am glad to have you here. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Real Wade Nation Gaming is here. It says, just got a win on Fortnite. Nice. That's awesome, dude. I was playing some Fortnite last night with my son. We got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the game now. Our first match out, we got second place. I'll take it. Using the Ninja Turtles, I went as Michelangelo, my favorite, and my son went as Donatello, and we had a blast. Tons of fun. Metalorian to Real Way Gaming says, congrats on the win. Aren't easy to come by this season. The matchmaking is horrible. Yeah, Metalorian, I mean, you know, guys, check out Metalorian's clips and everything from his Fortnite runs. He's freaking amazing at that game. But yeah, I don't know what's up with the matchmaking this season. It's a little funky. Definitely a little strange compared to past seasons, but I'm still having a lot of fun with it. So it's pretty cool. Game goes on, says, you literally have my dream room, so many games. Yeah, I love my hard copies. You know, I have movies and games back here. I got more stuff in like drawers and on shelves back over this way. I've you know, I've had a lot more games than I have now. Many have come and gone over the years, which tends to happen with a lot of gamers as we get older. But having a service available like this, videogamesmonthly.com. These guys are great. They're absolutely great. I've been on this service for so long now. Every box I have enjoyed. Every box has had some amazing titles in it. Lots of surprises, things that I never played before, and then I get to play them for the first time, which is such a great experience. I always love that. It's so much fun. I highly recommend Video Games Monthly. It is definitely a great thing. Real Wade Nation Gaming, I am only 224 subs away from 1,000 subscribers. Guys, get over there, the Real Wade Nation Gaming, guys. Get over there, subscribe to the channel. Let's get them up to 1,000. Let's do this. Leia Rose is here. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Always happy to see everybody here. We're going to wrap things up in just a moment. I know this was a surprise stream here. Like I said in the beginning, better late than never. I didn't get time to get to this box. This has literally been sitting in the packaging on my shelf over here since it arrived at the beginning of the month. So I was definitely delayed on that one. So actually, that means our next box realistically is going to be, our next unboxing is going to be real soon, because these boxes arrive usually in the first week of the month. I'm not sure if this next one will be delayed at all because of the upcoming holidays. It certainly could be, so maybe it'll be the second week of January. But either way, we're going to have another unboxing really, really soon. Guys, I had some fun with this. I'm so glad we finally got into this box. I am psyched with these Sega titles. I am thrilled for what Sega has coming down the pipeline for everybody. If you guys have not seen the announcement yet, go check out on Sega's YouTube channel. They have it posted there. Sega is remaking their classic catalogs, and they're starting with with 5 incredible games. I'm not going to spoil it here. Go find the reveal. Check it out. It's awesome. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining me for this month's Video Games Monthly unboxing. And until next time, keep retro gaming alive, because one day your games will be retro too. I'll see you guys on the next one.